Foundation Fitness for Monday, January 11th. We're going to begin today with shoes off. So let's get the shoes off. You can leave your socks on if you wish, as long as your toes are free to move around. It's easier though if you take them off so that you can really see what's happening in your foot. So I know it's not that much fun to get in and out of your shoes and socks, but your feet were designed to move. They were designed to, I mean, there are so many muscles. I can't even remember how many muscles, 36 or, I could have my numbers all wrong. I'll check on that and get back with you next week. But there are a lot of muscles and joints in the foot. There wouldn't be all of that if we weren't meant to use all that motion. Joints and muscles and ligaments and tendons are all there for motion. So you want to wake that motion up and strengthen it. So whatever you have, you want to maintain and then hopefully improve as well. Also, when you roll your foot on your tennis ball, or if you have a golf ball that's a little more painful, or a lacrosse ball, I like a tennis ball the best. It has enough give. But whatever you use, you could use, if you don't even have a ball, just how people would use a frozen water bottle. And then you'll want to leave your socks on for sure. But just really massaging. There are acupressure points on the bottom of the foot that are very helpful. Your whole body benefits from rolling. So now we're going to put the heel down, but the ball is still under the ball of the foot. And we're going to curl the toes and pull them up. Curl and pull. Curl and pull. Curl and pull. Curl and pull. And you can actually, it's nice to see your toes moving. It doesn't matter how far down they go, but you want to curl them and pull them up. And then, going to go from ball of the foot to baby toe. Ball of the foot to baby toe. Okay, and last one. And I'm going to move it over to my other foot. And again, rolling. So as you're rolling, you need to push down into the ball. So that the more you push down, the more massage you're going to get from the ball. If you're just kind of rolling it like that, you're not going to benefit at all. There's really no point. You need to push down. You may notice some very tender areas, and those may be trigger points. They may be. And if you roll them gently, maybe those will go away and your feet will feel better. Or some other body part that's connected. So a couple more, just from ball of the foot to the heel. And then put your heel down on the floor with the ball under the ball of your foot so that your toes are free to move and wiggle. So you're going to curl and pull up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, memo to self, get a pedicure before I take my socks off again for a film. And last 2, and last 1, and back and, did we do back and forth on this side? We'll do a few more, even if we did. And as much as you can push down here too. And if your ball starts to move forward, you can roll it back, reposition, because you don't want it to get away from you. And with that. So now set your ball aside. Got my goodie bag here. And you may need to look at your toes to do this really, but the piano roll, I call it piano rolls. And you're going to take your baby, lift your toes up, put down your baby toe, and then your next one, and then your big toe. So try to get them down in order. And you'll probably find if you're like me, your hands want to do it at the same time. It's like it helps. I tend to get a cramp while I do this. That does not mean I shouldn't do it. It means I need to do it. So I keep doing it. Try to roll those toes. Now start with your big toe. Put that one down, then the other ones. Big toe, then the others. Big toe, then the others. That control over all those muscles in your feet is lost on most people. You're not alone. I have difficulty with it myself. Let's see. Let's do a few more. So big toe, other toes. Now, there's another one that we're gonna try before we get our shoes back on, and you're gonna try and move your big toe toward the midline of your body, okay? So here's the midline of your body, okay, right through the center, so right here on the floor, and you just wanna try to move your big toe toward the space between your feet. It's not a big movement, it's mostly, you'll feel some muscles in the arch perhaps, just try a few. See if you can just get a little bit of motion there. Any motion at all is better than nothing. I know people whose feet are so like frozen basically that they can't even budge a millimeter. So anything at all is good. And you'll feel, I hope, that like your arch muscle kind of pulling up, because that muscle runs along, at least the tendon anyway, runs up along the inside of the arch. So you're going to be getting a little arch support there. All right. All right, that's very good. And then go ahead and put your socks and your shoes back on. This is the most time-consuming part. But you want to work for motion. It also helps if you're allowed to take various pain medications. If you're having a lot of pain, always take whatever you're allowed to take, according to your physician, about 45 minutes before you exercise, and that'll help you get more range of motion, because you're not going to feel the pain as much. Okay, we're done with that. Let's switch to upper body. We're going to kind of go back and forth. So whatever band you have, if you have a band, if you don't have a band, I'm going to do bands today. I normally do the weights. If you have your rice bags or your vegetable cans or whatever, something around a couple pounds, something like that, or 1 pound, whatever you have. And we're going to do the upper body posture work. So working not with your arms forward and not with your arms side, but right in between, with your thumbs to the ceiling and actually slightly rotated open, okay? So your shoulder joint is slightly externally rotated. You're not palm up, and you're not directly up, you're right in between. All these, we're exercising in the in-betweens today. So, get your band if you have that, and get your weights if you're going to use weights, and then just work your arms. So this is our shoulder, or our upper body core. Okay, your upper core is your shoulder girdle, which is your clavicle and your shoulder blades, your upper limbs, your arms, forearms, hands. And you should feel this in between your shoulder blades and maybe right around the level of the bra line. If you're feeling, rest a moment, if you're feeling a lot of the work straight up here, chances are you are hiking up even a little bit. You're going to notice the work right in the top. So what we're trying to do is wake up and strengthen and tone the muscles that are the bottom part of the trapezius, and there are others as well, but we want to really mainly work on those. So those muscles are going to help keep your shoulders in a proper placement. So keep your shoulders down, work this motion. Go as high as you can, keeping good form. If you have to hunker and move around and bend your elbows when you're going up to the highest point, that's incorrect. So if you feel like you're doing that, then stop, even if it's only halfway, and come back down, because you want to keep proper form. And check your shoulders. If you feel them hiking up, make them stay down. When you make them stay down, you will feel right across the middle, the lower part of the middle back. You're going to feel the bottom part of the ribcage, underneath and between your shoulder blades, working. That's when you want to work. You want to try to not feel it up here. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and, because I have the band switched to the other leg, just to give the rest of me a chance to be on the other side. Not that my legs are doing any work. Arms come up to about shoulder height, and then I'm gonna go open, 2. It's not a lot of resistance. And I'm keeping my shoulders down, not letting them hike up. Now I'm going to remove it from under the foot. Roll your shoulders back a few times. 2, 3, 4. Let the arms hang. 5. Feel your shoulder blades moving freely on your upper back. And done with that. Now take a hold of it. So if you have your thighs, your knees as far apart as, let's say, your hip width, and you just drape that band over, you're going to start with your hands like right there. That's kind of a starting point. Bring it up. And now we're going to do this again. 1 and 2. And if you're using the weights, if you're using rice bags or bean bags or cans or weights themselves, because many people do have those, that's great. So that whole distance thing really doesn't matter for you. You want to start with your hands about this far apart. And you want to be able to get your arms all the way over to the side with your bands touching your chest. And hopefully you're feeling that upper back now, like right between the shoulder blades. Bend the elbows and bring it down. Put the band right over your thighs. Tighten up on your abdomen. Keep your spine straight and your arms straight. And you're just going to push down. Lean forward. So you're just getting a little bit of resistance. And if you have weights, you can just, hold them and continue to do this. So here we're pushing forward against the resistance of the band. If you have weights and you're doing this, you're probably you're going to be getting more workout on the way up. And done with that. Now, I'm going to take whatever you have for weights, okay? So you're still sitting forward on your seat, or you should be. Scooch forward if you need to. You want some space between your back and the back of your chair. And I'll turn so you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm on the front edge of the chair, and there's space between me and the back of the chair. Whatever weight you want to hold, okay? You're going to hold it up by your chest. It can be a book if you don't have anything else, maybe an encyclopedia. Something that you can hold right up here, okay? And lean back and return. So nothing too heavy, because normally we do this in class with no weight at all. So if you're going to be holding something, just make sure it's nothing too terribly heavy, but it's going to give you a little extra workout in your stomach. Now there is upright, because I'm looking at myself in the monitor, shoulder over hip. I tend to scoot forward like this too much because I'm teaching, I'm looking at, I'm leaning toward. But I need to also work on this, keeping my shoulders over my hips. And then as you lean back, you feel your stomach tighten, and then you come right back up to centered. And a few more of these. So just even this a little bit. And the further forward you are, the more you have to lean. And the more you lean, the more you're working the abdominal muscles. And you're keeping your spine straight. So you're working on the tone of the abdomen. You're working on that middle core, what we typically call the core of the body. And it's a very good stabilizer for your spine. Okay, now, rotating just slightly and only tapping one shoulder. And then come back up, and you're going to rotate, and you're going to tap the other shoulder. And you want to make sure that you're not swinging from side to side. Keep control. We're going to do a little more core work with the dowel rod when we stand up. So we're warming up this motion. Again, using muscles. It's abdomen and back. All right, so it's rotation, and when I say rotation, I don't mean you're not moving your hands or your weight or whatever you've got. You're turning your torso. Whatever you're holding stays right at the center of your chest. Okay. And now we're going to do the one that we sometimes do in class, where we lean back, but we don't touch. And then we hover there and tap, 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 tap. One shoulder blade, then the other. Not rolling against the back of the chair, but you're hovering above it and doing this little rotation. And I'm feeling my abdomen like crazy. I hope you are too. So you're working the tone of those muscles, control, you're stabilizing. A strong abdomen helps to stabilize and protect your back. And last one, come back up, and done with that. So now, get a ball or a pillow or a balloon, whatever you may happen to have. I'm going to face forward again. And you want to put your band on first. So if you have a regular long band, you're going to tie it around your thighs above your knee. If you have your flat band, put it on one foot at a time, slide it up. It will not stay flat, sadly. Okay, and then you're going to separate your feet to about the width of your chair legs and stand. And then bring your ball in between your knees. A little bit of rotation in from the hip. So your hip is rotated in. It shows up as pigeon toes. We're going to do a little different one today. Pulling on the abs, you're going to bend and squeeze and hold. So when you do your bend though, okay, so you're rotated in, when you bend, you don't want to go like this, all right? It's not this. You're still keeping flexion at your hip, all right? So be careful when you bend that you're still kind of keeping that elongated spine and not tipping the hip that way, all right? So we're here. We're in position, rotated in, little bit of a bend, hold the squeeze, and now use your arms and you're going to reach across, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, middle, 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep your pelvis nice and still. Go up, 2, 3. Keep squeezing, 5, 6, 7, 8, and rest. Did you feel your abdomen? I did. Oh my gosh, so well. And then press and hold again. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and up. 2, 3, 4. Keep squeezing on that ball and rest. And these are our pelvic, this is another one of our pelvic floor exercises. It's a pelvic floor workout. So that's always good, right? But it's also working your inner thigh. I mean, it's working your inner thighs and all of this and that. It's going to also tone the pelvic floor muscles, which, let's face it, they're in a place we can't really get to with weights, right? So you're going to do one more set. We'll do 3 sets. So squeeze, so you bend. You're not tipping the pushing forward, okay? Flex the hip. Squeeze in, and 1, 2, 3. But we're not waffling around in that lower body. It's the upper body, rib cage. 2, 3. Reach across. 5, 6, 7, 8, and up and over. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But this time, bring it back down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then down, 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 down. Keep squeezing, and down, and done, and done. Nice job. So now take your ball, put it on the chair, out of your way. If you're rolling up a lot, you might want to adjust your band. I don't want it to dig in on you and hurt you. And now the toes turn out. So your heels are still, your feet are about as wide as your chair leg, give or take. Turn out slightly, bend, and hold. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and rest. And breathe. And then bend again. You're and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and rest. We have one more set, and we're going to bring it back down at the end of the set. So here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. You feel your abs. 5, 6, 7, 8. Up. 2, 3. Keep a light fist. Don't squeeze. Bring it back down. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a little aerobic. And down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And rest. Wow. Okay. Now, sit back down. Take your band off. And we're going to stretch the hips because we just worked them a lot. So now we're going to go, let's just start with a clamshell. So the feet are together, knees are together. You're going to just let your knees open as far as they'll go, like so. Just let them stay there. Now rock to the outer edge of the shoe so they go out even further. And come back. All right, lift up. Let's lift straight up first. Here, and then here. Now from this point, my posture, I know, I'm tilted. I have a pelvic tilt going on. So I'm going to pull my posture up nice and tall. Immediately I feel stretch in the side of the hip. I'm going to hold that, and I'm going to move this leg out and in, out and in. Just tiny little tweaks, and every movement out and in is going to change the stretch. I'm not moving my upper body. And then pull up super tall and press forward. Breathing, 3, 4. Check to see that both of your sit bones are on the chair. Don't lean one way or the other. And come back and down. Second side, bring this up. And over. And the first thing you're going to do is pull your posture up so that you're not slumping or slouching. Okay. And then your bottom leg is going to just go back and forth. You may feel tighter on one side than the other. And just careful that you're not moving your upper body. It's just your thigh here going out and in, and it's kind of dragging your upper leg with it. But just tiny, just to get a tweak in that stretch. Last one. Help it down with care. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get a yardstick, or if you have a dowel rod. I know many years ago I gave dowel rods as a Christmas gift so that you could all do that at home. I think that was a lot of years ago. That was at Pelham. So grab a dowel rod, or a yardstick, or a broom handle if it's not too terribly, long. All right, feet are maybe a little wider than your chair. Maybe, yes, definitely wider than your chair legs now. And we're going to take the stick like so and go between the legs carefully and up. And so we're rotating and bending. Drive that stick right between. So one hand on top, one hand on the bottom. So you're doing a little bit of rotation and a bend. So a little deeper than what we did with the ball. Last one. And here we go. Now, as close as you can get, bring your elbows down to your thighs. Now, you may not be able to get that low, and that's fine. If you can't, stop whenever you need to. And don't forget about your glutes. So you're bringing the elbow down to the top of the thigh, not the knee. But that's still very deep, and if you can't go that deep, stop where you can. Go as deep as you can. Last one. And bring the arms forward. Now you're going to drive the stick back behind you and up and over and behind you up and over, behind you, behind you, behind you. Notice how you're shifting side to side on the feet, and you're driving the stick behind you. There's your rotation. And you're bringing it up, 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 and over, 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 and then down, and up, and over, and drop that one down. It's hard to do it slow motion. So now, again, this is a lot of rotation, but you're doing it with care, and pay attention to the shift that you're doing it. Your whole body is working on that. You're driving it back, driving it back, driving it back, driving it back. Come back to center now with your feet a little closer. And hold it on the ends. Back to the up and down, but this time you're just going to lightly hold it and hand over hand, like it's the bicycle arm, I call it. 4, 3. Now notice how all the movement I'm doing is directly in front of me. Reverse it now. All right? So I'm sending my hand each time out and back, pretty much right in front of my body. And by that I mean it's not going all over here. It's just right in the center. And you'll notice when you're doing the backward bicycle arm, like what I'm doing right now, that your shoulder blade has to move back. All right? Same thing with wagon wheel when we do that. You really want to have all that mobility in the upper body. Let's go to slight turn out, and we're going to shift. And this is a little homage to our Tai Chi thing. We're going to lift and rotate. Now this is hip rotation. You're going to go as far as you can until your hip says, I've gone as far as I can go. Then your abdomen and your back muscles are going to rotate, and then your upper torso, your shoulders. So hopefully you get full rotation, but it's a combined effort of hip up to shoulder, your whole torso. And then come back and shift. Start with your lower core, go as far as you can, then pick it up with stomach and back muscles, and then upper body, shoulders. Your stick should be directly parallel to the wall, never go past it. If you can't quite get there, that's fine. Work for it, but never go past it. You don't want to work in that behind you realm. And then the arms come up. I know we didn't do it on the first side. Shoulders down, elbows bent. Probably your stick is above your head. Now squeeze your shoulders back and try to bring the stick behind you. And then here we go. So we shift and we rotate and we lift. We return and bend and up and down and shift. Up, return, back, and down. And shoulder rolls. Now bring your stick behind you. Let your hands slide right next to your body, not behind you, not behind, but right next. Shoulders up and back. You're starting this by squeezing the shoulder blades back and then moving with your posterior deltoid and your tricep, your arm back. And one more. I think we're working on a half hour here, so I need to get us done. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can adjust your hand position so you're not getting all, like, twisty. Okay, don't be twisty. You're lightly holding that. And done with that. And come back. All right, now I'm going to turn my chair because I think it's about us to wrap this up. I'm just gonna set that down. This chair is actually too short for what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do it anyway to save time. But if you're holding on to a kitchen counter, that's best, it's really good. But you're gonna walk back and let your body get like a tabletop. That's my shirt, okay? I'm not letting my belly sag. I'm pulling up in my abdominal muscles, and my back is nice and straight. So again, I'm not rounded or tucked, and I'm not arching. I'm just keeping a nice neutral spine. I'll let my body sink down between my arms. We've done a lot with the upper body. Breathing and holding this stretch, and then, okay, we've been talking about rotation, right? Now remember, I'm not arching my back. There's my back, nice and straight. Okay, you're gonna rotate. We've been doing a lot with rotation. So as you rotate, one shoulder, let's say you rotate to the right, your left shoulder is gonna drop down closer to the floor. You should feel more stretch there. Come back to center and bend your knees, and straighten your knees. And then rotate to the other side. And hold, and let your body sink down toward the floor to get the stretch. And then come back to center, bend your knees, and walk your feet toward the chair or the kitchen counter or dining room table or whatever you're holding on to. You never want to be all stretched out here and then go, oh, okay? I mean, you can, but it's just a lot of stress on your back and on your shoulders, and we don't want to do that. You just got done stretching. You don't want to end with a glitch, you know, how sometimes your back might grab. Believe me, I've had all these things happen to me. So you're going to walk yourself in and shake that out. That's all we have time for, I think, today. I'm looking at my clock, and I don't remember what time we started, but we're going to go ahead and stop. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon.